Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. About 8 topics for this video, and I had to start over this video because instead of saying hello, I said hero. Anyway, you know what I mean? I'm changing. All right, so we have about 8 topics related to Ukrainian defenses being able to hit down again some hypersonic missiles coming from Russia. And the debris just caused damage that was over Kyiv. Then we find out the Russians attack energy facilities in 5 oblasts. I'm going to discuss the damages and the success of the Ukrainian air defense systems. Obviously, the Patriot systems, the Kinzhal's missiles that came towards Kyiv. That's a given nowadays. Buy one, get one. Premium price. My God. And then we have a guy, his name is Medvedev, former president of the Russian Federation. He calls for sinking of Great Britain. We disagree with that. But probably that could solve the illegal immigration problem from Great Britain, along with the English, the Welsh, the Irish, the Scots. All these guys will just, I don't know, live wherever they can. Let's discuss that one and how he intends to do. And it's exactly how I said many, many times before. You don't have to hit the main island over there. Opa! What's up, buddy? I just went around. Okay, I know. He wants attention. So I'm going to show you, as I said before, how these guys can do it if they want. With one, or maybe not one missile, but even not hitting the target, which is the Isles. All right, let's find out how many drones the Russian air defense systems downed overnight over Crimea. And not only, I think this is a drill for hitting the Crimean bridge. That's me, but hey. Then we find out that the Russian forces advance northwest of Ugledar, exactly how the British intelligence services predicted. Why? Because it was obvious. We're going to discuss that one. I'm going to show you a map to see where the Russians are going. Well, we have here a video featuring Vladimir Putin, the president of the Russian Federation, speaking in English. And that is, it is his voice generated by AI from that famous or infamous Munich speech. Remember that one when Putin comes over and warns the West, guys, you have choice right now. You can keep doing what you're doing, and we're going to face in the front fighting one another, hot war, or we can negotiate, or can, how do you call that, incorporate the Russian Federation into the structures of the West. Well, the Americans said, are you crazy? It can be only one. All right, so we're going to listen to Putin speak English. Then we find out that there are some guys who really want a nuclear war, or at least they want to see, not on their little skins, how that would play, but to see how the Russians could use it against the Ukrainians. I have two here, 2 imbeciles that I want you to remember. If that happens, if a nuclear war breaks out, I wanted to remember who were the guys and girls in this case who said, don't worry, we're going to push forward, even though the Russians said, if you do this, we're going to nuke. And I wanted to remember after that. I don't want you to, gulp the, how do you call it, the bait from the fisherman over there, the media that will give you, oh no, the Russians, even Russians, and start with year 0 when they will detonate it somewhere. No, that's not when it started. It started in 1991. That's where it started. I made this case so many times, and I'm probably gonna go over it. So we have 2 imbeciles here who say, well, you know what, let's hit Russia deep inside. With Western weapons, what can it happen? I tell you what's going to happen. Exactly what the Russians said. We might activate our nuclear arsenal and hit you back. Hey, these guys live in bunkers. You don't. Yeah, I'm building one right now. Right here. Hey, baby, don't go anywhere. All right, don't leave me. And we have the last topic, which is the Ukrainians come and confirm rare confession coming from the Ukrainians regarding the hypersonic missile hitting their Khmelnytsky airfield. Khmelnytsky is the oblast, but it's a different airfield in the Khmelnytsky oblast that was hit yesterday that I covered, because why? That airfield can fit the Prisi F-16s, which is the F-16s, if you remember. If you don't, I will let you know. It has certain kind of, needs in order to fly. Like the wind has to fly less than 3 miles per hour, should be all clear if possible, no rain. It has to be summertime. It has to be between this hour of the day and this hour of the day. They don't see through the night. Okay, all these requirements. The airfield has to be this long because it takes longer for these baboons to take off. It needs to be clean, blowed, everything clean. All these things need to be done in order for this weapon of war to function. Not like an AK, chick, let's go. All right, let's start with the first article. This comes from Ukrainska Pravda. Russians attack energy facilities in 5 oblasts over past 24 hours. So 5 oblasts, we're going to go over them over a map. Russian attacks and combat actions caused power outages in Dnipropetrovsk, Donetsk, Zaporozhye, Kherson, and Chernihiv. How in the hell if you hit all the drones and missiles almost? So on 6th of October, so Dnipropetrovsk, Donetsk, Zaporozhye, Kherson, Chernihiv. These are the ones that are in this right here. Not Sumy, Chernihiv, not even Kharkiv, Kharkov, Dnipropetrovsk, Zaporozhye, Kherson. So this area. In particular, a rocket attack disconnected an overhead line leading to a power outage for household consumers in Zaporozhye Oblast. Chernihiv, then Dnipropetrovsk. Let's go to the next article. And it says Ukraine's air defense forces destroy 2 out of 3 Kinzhal missiles, 32 drones. So they're shy now to say they destroyed 3 out of 3. Why? They're going to get to that again. Ukraine Air Defense Forces intercepted 2 Kh-47M2 Kinzhal hypersonic ballistic missiles in the Kyiv region and shot down 32 enemy strike drones in the Mykolaiv, Kiev, Dnipropetrovsk, Sumy, Chernihiv, Poltava, and Kharkiv regions. So these were in this area. So Mykolaiv, Kiev, Dnipropetrovsk, Kiev, Mykolaiv, Dnipropetrovsk is right here. Kherson, I think it was in this area, right? Where are they? Kharkiv, Kharkov, Poltava, Sumy. So that's basically these things here, plus Kiev. And it was another one, Poltava here. All right, let's go back and see what these guys report. So it says that from 8 o'clock p.m. yesterday until 8:30 a.m. today on October 7th, the Russians attacked Ukraine with an Iskander-M ballistic missile, a Kh-59 guided missile, a missile of an undetermined type from the Kursk and the Belgorod regions, let's say Ukraine over there, as well as UAV launched from Oryol, Primorsko-Akhtarsk, Kursk, and Yeisk. At around 8:20, the enemy launched an airstrike using 3 Kinzhal missiles fired from 3 MiG-31K aircraft from the airspace of Tambov region. Now, Sebaslaika airfield. Why they say that? Because they consider that a legitimate target with the Western weapons. Now, when a MiG-31 interceptor takes off, it has Kinzhal missiles, and Kinzhal's missiles could be fitted with nuclear warheads. Therefore, the NATO alliance, whenever these guys take off, they are ready for possible missile nuclear attack. Let's go. But hey, these guys claim they downed 2 out of 3. Is it possible? Yeah, I think it's possible. Is it probable? I would give them 20%. Ukraine forces down 32 Russian UAVs and 2 Kinzhal missiles during recent air assault. So again, it gives us the same information, 2 Kinzhal missiles. Then we get to the next article. Missile wreckage falls in 3 Kiev districts, house roof and minibus damaged. Fire breaks out. It's just the wreckage, all right? They didn't hit anything. Only tomorrow or within 48 hours, they will tell you and me, that they actually have about, 493 energy consumers out of power because of those wreckages of those 2 missiles. And you say, okay, yeah. Let's see what these guys are saying. What is Japanese over there? No. Kiev Mayor Vitaly Klitschko, who keep his mouth shut now, has reported that missile wreckage has fallen in 3 districts of Kiev. And I'm quoting Klitschko. Wreckage has been found in several places in the Solmiansky district in open spaces. Debris fell near a pedestrian crossing in the Shevchenkivsky district. Debris also fell on the pavement in the Holosivsky district. Another struck the roof of a minibus. All services are on the way to the scene. So Serhiy Popko, head of the Kiev City Military Administration, clarified that the Russians launched a missile attack on Kiev at around 8:30 a.m., reportedly with Kh-47M2 Kinzhal air ballistic missiles launched from MiG-31K fighter jets. Quote from Popko: Air defense was responding in the capital. Preliminary data indicates that all air targets have been successfully destroyed, so all now. As a result of the missile attack, wreckage fell in 2 districts of the capital in the All right, so good for you. I guess you are all covered. Send them more, air defense systems, because you see, they work, man, 100%. Somehow, in Israel, the Iranians launch not so good missiles, and I saw footage about what happened. But these guys send Kinzhals, and these guys are destroying them. And you may say, yes, but Ukrainians, click, used the Patriot systems. Do you remember what the Israeli Air Defense Department said about the Patriot? You can have them, they're too fat for me. Remember that polka song? You can have her, she's too fat for me. I don't want her, you can have her, she's too fat for me. Exactly, that's exactly how it is. The Israeli said, no, you can have the Patriot, we have our own Kyiv. You can give them if they want to Ukraine. And these guys tell us in Ukraine that they work against better missiles than the Iranians launched. It's a little bit strange, right? Well, whatever. It says that the fallen debris had damaged the roof and so on. It's just the debris. And we have more fragments here, right from Ukr Inform. Missile fragments fell in 2 districts. According to preliminary information, the wreckage of a Russian missile fell in districts, the same one that I mentioned out there. Let's see what they say here. They don't say anything extra. We're going to go to Kiev hit by Russian Kinzhal missiles. Damage reported in 3 districts. In the Solomiansky district, debris fell in several open spaces. And then Shevchenkivsky district, debris later near a pedestrian crossing. In the Holosivsky district, debris fell. So 3 out of 3 were destroyed. But they say here there were 2 out of 3 somewhere before. So I don't know where the last one is. They're lying. Well, they're all lying. Don't worry about that one. Again, Russia strikes Kiev with Kinzhal missiles for the first time since August. And this is a so-called Kinzhal missile. Look at the shape of it and you're going to realize this is whatever. But this is, anyway, everything here but nails. That's all you see in this Kinzhal missile. Ukraine issued large-scale MiG-31, right? And it says here, this is from today. Ukraine issued a large-scale air raid alert after Russian MiG-31K fires launched Kinzhal missiles over Kiev and, right here, Starokostiantyniv airbase in Khmelnytsky Oblast on the morning of October 7th. So this must have been a new one. So then what's going on? We have 4 missiles? Because this Starokostiantyniv airbase is not in Kiev region. It's in Khmelnytsky. What's up? Where are you going? Good job. You have to hit things here. Good job. The last time Russia... So that means we have what? 4 missiles? If we have 3, and they were over the Kiev region, it means hitting the airbase is the 4th one, if they say today, or they're referring to yesterday, which I don't think they do. It says here that the last time Russians struck Kiev with Kinzhal missiles was during a mass attack on August 26. New Voice of Ukraine explains the danger of Kinzhal missiles and whether Ukraine is able to intercept them. And they show us, this is in a nutshell, this is Ukraine, obviously. Kiev is right here. And this is the airfield. So it's obviously a different Kinzhal. Let's see if they say anything about it. All right. Carrying out. All right, here. The Kh-47M2 Kinzhal, known as a Bye-Bye Killjoy by NATO, is a Russian hypersonic missile capable of carrying a nuclear warhead, first developed in 2018. Carried by MiG-31 fighter jets, a modified version of the MiG-31, this is MiG-31K, the missile can reach speeds up to Mach 10 and has a range of more than 2,000 kilometers. Each MiG can carry one Kinzhal, and though plans exist to adapt the system to two Tupolev-22 bombers, this has not yet been implemented. It could hit Kiev in 3.2 minutes. Is that what it was over there? Yeah, these are the minutes. They tell you how many minutes it takes for a Kinzhal to reach different parts of Ukraine. So 6 minutes to the 5 minutes, 0.4 to Lvov. This is part of future Poland. So celebrate, my Polish friends, or this is going to be yours. So 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and these guys react so fast. They react when these guys are launching their missiles. All right, let's see, they hit. I want to see if these guys say, okay, is the Kinzhal really a hypersonic missile? No, because, you know, the Patriot are destroying this one. All right, how Kinzhal missiles are beaten in Ukraine? Again, the Patriot right here. They destroy shit, man. They are so good, they destroy everything. So they don't say anything about hitting again, only in the title, not title, subtitle here, right? Right, let's go to the Russians. Medvedev calls for sinking of Great Britain. What's new? There he has two flags over there. You don't see them right there. There you have it. Let's see what this guy is saying. The former Russian president was commenting on skiing champion Elena, as a woman, Vyalbe's suggestion to drop a bomb on London. Dmitry Medvedev, the deputy head of Russia's Security Council and former president, has suggested, quote-unquote, sinking Great Britain as a way to solve the country's problems with London. Well, all right. The former president was responding to a statement made late last month by renowned Russian skiing champion Elena Vyalbe in an interview with News.ru, or Russia outlet. The three-time Olympic champion and head of the Russia's cross-country skiing federation slammed the West for banning the country's athletes from most international sports tournaments in response to Ukraine conflict. Yeah, so the Americans can win all the medals. That's the way it is. What do you think else? They need to get the Chinese out, and then the Americans really will get all. If I missed some, they will make sure they are. Not even that evil guy Adolf did this. He didn't do it because he didn't have any reasons, right? I mean, he was evil. He was evil beyond anything we can imagine, but he didn't. And Germany won all medals. Not all medals, I'm sorry. The biggest numbers of medals. Yes, I know we know about only one incident, actually two. Jesse Owens winning, the black guy, and supposedly that guy snubbing Jesse Owens. But the US president also snubbed Jesse Owens. He didn't invite the black guy to the White House. I visited Jesse Owens' grave in South Chicago a while ago. So they tell us about that story now that the Germans, the bad guys, through their programs, got Germany to win the most medals. I know, they cheated. But here these guys are just doing it differently. In the name of good, they ban other countries from participating, you know? So they're not bad, they're good, therefore we win. But it's your actions, because your government does that, and then we punish whom? Your athletes. Why? And then we say, our programs are working, including the fact that there's a lot of juicing up, all right? And legal juicing up. I can give you two examples if you want. Two that take prescribed medication that is banned, but they need for, alleviating some issues. There's two of them that I know. One is retired, one still participates. Yeah, that's true. Why? Because who owns who? Remember? Who made who? AC/DC song. So Vyalbe claimed that, and I'm quoting, if we had dropped a serious bomb, serious like what? Tsar bombs? In the center of London, it would have all been over by now, and we would have been allowed anywhere. Remember, women are more compassionate than man, we're told. And they're more, nurturing, is that how you call it? Nurturing than man. Have better feelings. They're, Well, I know, don't generalize. So if you don't generalize on the other issue as well. After all, when you guys, the imbeciles, are blaming Great Britain from its past, imperialistic past, and all that colonial past and so on, you should blame a woman, a queen. After all, no? My bad. Jesus Christ. But these baboons are missing that fact. Remember when, I can't remember the queen, her name, she employed the corsairs, the pirates in the Caribbean to take over the Spanish golden, how they call them, galleon, whatever they were called, and steal the gold and then pass it over to the queen. Do you remember that one? Hello? So it's like you employ a criminal now in a war to fight someone else. Oh wait, the Ukrainians are doing and the Russians are doing. But when the Russians are doing, not good. But where did they learn that from? You don't have to go too far. About what? Maybe from the beginning of our history. That's always been like that. Always. Including slaves. You have slaves. You want to be a free person, you go and fight. And they did. Some of them died. Some of them survived. And then they became free people. All right, as bad as that, at least you have a way out under that imbecilic system. And I'm quoting. Our famous skier, Elena Vialbe, suggested dropping a bomb on London. She's right, of course, but we need to solve the problem radically and just sink the damned island of Anglo-Saxon dogs. End quote. Holy moly, Medvedev. Medvedev said he did not elaborate on whether the quote-unquote the problem refers to sports or the state of Russia's relations with the UK in general. The UK and NATO have sided with Ukraine in its conflict with Russia, providing Kyiv with financial and military aid, placing sanctions on Moscow. London was among 30 nations, 30 out of 194, mind you, a minority, that urged the International Olympic, and it is always the same vassal states of the Al Capone. They're the same. Whenever you hear, oh my God, several nations did this, or several nations complained, or several they're the same nations, the ones that activated or just suck it of Al Capone. Why? Because they have to. It's like in a world, in your job. You know who are the weasels, who are the brown nosers, and so on. You know who they are. Some of them need to be activated. Some of them are doing it because they want to be, petted by the master of their heads, and you see their tails wagging. That's what it is. The same countries are like people. The same. It's when you see the globe, 193 countries over there. There's like 194 people in a community, in an organization, in a business. They act the same way. Why? Because they're made out of people. They think the same way, up and down, good and bad. So there you go. 30 nations. When you're gonna hear, we're condemning. We're gonna find about 40 to 50 countries. That's how much Al Capone's plantation is. No more than 40 countries. Let's say 50. No more than 50 countries. Usually it's like 35. It's some countries in the European Union, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and obviously South Korea. And you got Palau, Zabalau, and Paraguay, and what's the other one? Papua New Guinea. That's all. And all that gets to about 40 countries. Let's say 45 countries. The rest, niet. And now you have probably Milei, because Milei is a pimp. Why is the pimp? Because he was promoted and put over there to do certain things not for the Argentinians, for Argentines. So here, 30 nations that urged the International Olympic Committee to uphold a ban, and it helped. 30, and they were enough. It had placed on Russian and Belarusian athletes when it proposed allowing them to compete in the Summer Olympics. Most Western-based sport bodies banned Russia and Belarus from taking part. Fantastic. What do? You ruin some young people's hopes. They have nothing to do with the politics. But the problem is this. You think that by doing that, those guys will start a revolution and will go over there and hang Putin. What else could be? Because they can't vote, we're told. Therefore, what do you expect? That's exactly what you expect. not supporting Putin. How can you support Putin? To vote? When they're going to go to work or something? No, that's exactly what these guys want. That's why they impose sanctions on Russia, create an economic situation, financial situation in Russia of such a grave, magnitude that the economy will fall or the ruble will collapse like they thought in 48 hours, the baboons. And then these guys, the Russians, will pick up their, the sickles and the big pitchforks and the torches and go to the Kremlin and take care of the, what's his name? Gaddafi. Exactly, that's exactly what these guys wanted. But it didn't happen. Why? Because the European Russians were smart. And the other guys were not as smart, or they were smart too, because their guys in charge of them made a lot of profits due to this war. So I don't think it was a miscalculation. I think it was a very meticulous calculation of how to enrich more these guys who are behind the scenes, the guys who want to prevent war. Because if they prevent war, they don't make money. All right, let's move on. In her interview, she slammed IOC, International Olympic Committee, calling it a trash heap that is engaged in who knows what, but certainly not in honest sports. She added that while sports has always been tied with politics, the sweeping bans on athletes for political reasons no longer resemble sport at all. Remember, the most evil guy did not prevent countries that would show up with their people that guy did not like. Do you think the world would have seen that and sanctioned Adolf at that time? But he was okay with those guys coming over, even though he knew, because contrary to what the big media is telling you and the entertainment and even in school tell you, the guys are like this. Well, they should not be allowed to participate in our competitions. They should have their own competitions. He was talking about, not the Americans as a country. That's what he said. Why? Because he knew that physically this cannot compete with that physically in certain areas. That's why. But he allowed them to come over. He would have said, no, based on my ideology, I organized this one. Fuck off, since he was evil. And besides, he didn't have to give any explanations because he was illogical, irrational, we're told. After all, he did what he did, right? With the 6 million, so his ideology, in the name of his ideology, so many crimes were committed. But somehow he said, nah, we're going to allow them to come over. But hey, it's the same thing with other dogmatic statements when it doesn't make sense because you don't understand. And we can't understand this, we can understand them very well. Let's go to the next article. The Russians don't need to hit London, but they troll these guys and tell them, guys, you screwed up your country. They screwed it up for you. Russian air defense shot down 21 drones over Crimea, Black Earth region, Ministry of Defense. Moscow, your Russian air defense systems destroyed 12 Ukrainian drones over Crimea, 6 over Kursk region, and 1 each over the Belgorod, Bryansk, and Voronezh regions last night, the Russian Defense Ministry said. So let's see where's Crimea. Then we have Kursk, Belgorod, Bryansk, and Voronezh. Pam, pam, pam. So we start with this. Bryansk is here. Then we have Kursk is here. Voronezh is right here. And then we go to Crimean Peninsula right here. This is the Black Sea. This is the Weasel country of Romania. And this is, Sea of Azov. There is Crimea. And the Kerch Bridge, the Crimean Bridge, is on its east right here. So this is what's going to be attacked at one point, and I suspect and I predict is going to be damaged. I hope not. Why? Because it's a marvelous construction engineering success of humankind or mankind. All right, let's go to the next one. So there's they tell you Crimea, Rapazapa with drones. Next article. Russian armed forces advance northwest of Ugledar. This is Vuhledar in DPR, Donetsk People Republic, Defense Ministry claims. Russian troops of the Vostok East group of forces have advanced northwest of Ugledar, Vuhledar, and in the area of Vosilonie Vesele, approaching Bogoyavlenka in the Donetsk People's Republic, the Russian Defense Ministry reported on Monday. So where is that located? Very easy to find out, not in Kerch. Right here, we're going to go into Donetsk. This is the Donetsk Oblast. Here is the Ugledar. Now they finally updated their thing in this area. This is Ugledar, done. And they advance this way. The goal, the British intelligence said, is this right here. This big city, Velikaya Novosiolka, in here. So they are advancing here. They are going towards Pokrovsk, which they are about 4 miles from Pokrovsk. The Russians call it Krasnoarmeysk. And look how many. Zensinsk is also close to be done here. Chasov, if they can pinch this on the flanks, then you got Konstantinovka done. Again, here they have all kind of run-ins, or how do you call this, where they can go. Look how many they got. Look how many. Pop. All these can turn like that and then surround you. The same here in Kharkov. They advancing slowly towards Kupiansk again. Go around. Take their time. The Russians are not imbeciles. They haven't done anything more here in Kharkov. The Ukrainians claim they liberated some other, I don't know exactly where, but this again, it's still there. The, how do you call it, offensive, the NATO-Ukraine offensive in Kursk. All right, so let's go to the German Foreign Minister, Annalena Baerbock, who is as I said many times, this is my assessment of her, she is a infantile at best, judging by her comments, okay, not by comments. I didn't come with a, I don't know, preconception about who she is, what she is, or whatever. I just listened one by one to her statements, and I realized her level just dropped with each and every statement that she made. So let's start with the beginning. The Russians said, if you guys, which is NATO, will allow the Ukrainians, which I don't think is going to be the Ukrainians, use Western weapons to strike targets deep inside Russian territory, that could trigger, that falls under our nuclear weapons use doctrine, which they are reshaping right now, and that's what's going to be. So I said, if you do that, we're going to do it. We're going to nuke you. And these guys in the West, instead of saying, well, let's talk about something else, no, you have some baboons who keep talking. They will be nuked. You don't think so? Well, let's say they start a nuclear war. Where are you going to be? Where do you think Annalena Baerbock, this baboon, will be? Where do you think she will be at? She will be safe. You won't. I won't. If anybody is to survive. And then who are you going to go and look for and say, you bad, you said it won't happen, it will not happen. It's too late at that time. You can't do shit about it. So this is one, and this is another baboon. Estonian president calls for lifting restrictions on Ukraine's use of weapons on Russian soil. Why don't you go and fight? Why don't you get your Estonia, about 1 million people, go and fight the Russians? Why don't you do it? Because it's the same thing as with that story that I tell you with the elephant and the mouse. An elephant and the mouse together were crossing a wooden bridge. And the sound was boom, 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 boom. Obviously, boom, boom. And the mouse looked at the elephant and said, hey, can you hear us trembling? Well, we are trembling so hard. No, it was the elephant trampling, is that how we call it? Not, or stamping so hard, not the mouse. The same Estonia, we should do this. You are the mouse. You are a zero, you have a big mouth for a mouth. You have a big mouth, that's what it is. And why don't you go? Well, because courage comes in numbers. Not in individuals, in numbers. Again, sorry to mention an evil guy who said, as you can't make from 100 cowards one courageous person, you won't make out of a parliament a courageous body. No, they will be all weasels. Not all weasels, but obviously he was a bad guy, so he promoted that idea. But what's your direct experience with life? Did you find that to be true? Or did you find it to be false? When you have people hiding behind numbers, like the guys in Congress, they're going to vote. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. You're going to vote them out. How? If they're going to be the same ones ready for re-election, who are you going to vote? For the other side? The other side is going to be the same guy. Because you need a certain kind of, you have to be shaped in a certain way to get over there. You have to promise to certain interest groups in order to get the money and attention and coverage, positive coverage, mind you. How do you think that Lindsey Graham got to be a senator for so many years? Who's behind Lindsey Graham? You? And I'm just, I gave you just an example. Take Fetterman, that imbecile from Pennsylvania. He's a senator. He's Jewish, a coincidence. He barely speaks. You look at his past. He is a senator, one of 100 of the US. He said, I love it. You know when? When those pagers and walkie-talkies exploded in Lebanon. That's why I love it. You're a US senator, you're not an Israel Knesset member. But hey, who is he exactly? He got elected. How in the hell that baboon got elected? Look at Kamala Harris. Jesus Christ. And many, many others. And many, look at the AOC. These guys are baboons. Jesus Christ, baboons. Tell me about the democracy, the will of the people. Now, if those baboons were really elected by the people because they like them, imagine the electorate's level. Imagine that one. I mean, if you like someone like, let's say, Fetterman, or AOC, for instance, or Kamala Harris, and you listen to her and you think that's great, and that's an intellectual and a person with balls, and if you think that that's true, how much do you know about this world? How many times have you been around the block? And if you were many times around the block, you didn't understand squat. So again, with this guy, hey, Estonia, why don't you go and fight? I mean, that's the way it goes. No. He doesn't want to fight. He want to be next to the elephant, which is the United States of America or the NATO. So remember, when or if that happens, the nuclear war starts, I wanted to remember who said, we should do it. It's okay. The Russians are bluffing. We actually crossed the Russian red tape or whatever, red lines so many times. So don't worry. He's going to be alive. You and your family. Anyway, so here you have another, the last article. This comes from 3 hours ago, today on October 7th, 2024. Ukraine says Russian hypersonic missile hit area of major air base. There you have, and it says a Russian hypersonic missile struck the area of Ukraine's major Starokostiantyniv airbase on Monday morning. Kyiv said in a rare admission after a drone and a missile attack that also targeted the capital. The latest strike on this airfield in the western Khmelnytsky region, which is often attacked by Russia, came a day after Dutch Defense Ministry. They say this is happened now, 3 hours ago, but I covered this one yesterday. Russia hits Ukraine airfield. This was from yesterday, from the 6th. So this is a video that I covered yesterday. What, you come with a toy, meow meow? My cat is bringing a toy, wants to play. So let's how do you call it? Finish this one. So here, let's look over Khmelnytsky. Oh, you brought the toy right here? Oh, look at that toy. Kitty. Why don't you come up here? So screw up my video a little bit. Or maybe not. Coming? Come on, meow meow. You know? Oh, you want to play over there? He wants to play over there where I can go and pet him. All right, so let's see where Khmelnytsky is. And this airfield. You already saw it right here. Starokostiantyniv, right here by Khmelnytsky. This is the airfield. I covered it yesterday. It's right here. This is the airfield. It's in the east of this Starokostiantyniv town or something. All right, so this is it. They finally said they hit it with the Kinzhal. Well, my friends. Jesus Christ, I was about to forget about Putin. How is it possible? I just remember because I was about to say today is Putin's birthday. And I will cover that in a next video with Putin's birthday. All right, let's go over this article. Jesus Christ. Russia Today, Putin in English. Listen to the Russian president's words like never before. Video. Let's see, maybe this is going to screw up my video because the guy's going to say infringement of something. RT has converted key archive speeches delivered by the Russian leader into spoken English using the help of AI. Or here, this ended with his 2007 speech at the International Security Conference in Munich, where he laid out Moscow's grievances with Western unilateralism. Got? And this is Putinskaya. Let's see.
Incidentally, Russia, we are constantly being taught about democracy. But for some reason, those who teach us do not want to learn themselves. I consider that the unipolar model is not only unacceptable, but also impossible in today's world. And this.
All right, so I think it's a little bit too, but it has a different voice than who was speaking, like stopping, speak like kind of like me, stop, but not like like you had certain information, give some time to sink in information, time to sink in, and so on. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.